Lesson 4.3, Point Slope Form. Before I teach you point slope form, let's review. So far, we have learned standard form of a linear equation. The standard form of a linear equation is ax plus by equals c. You'll recall the x and the y term are on one side of the equation and c, the constant, is on the other side. We also learned that a can never be negative and that a and b must be integers. So that was one form of a linear equation that we learned. Just recently, we've been working on slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept form of an equation is y equals mx plus b, where m represents the slope and b is the y-intercept of the line. Today, we're going to learn a third form of a linear equation, and it's called point slope form. Point slope form. And this is the form: y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. It's called point slope form because x1 and y1 are an ordered pair on the line, and m represents the slope. So point slope form. Take a moment to write it down, please. Okay, here we go. In this lesson, you will be asked to write an equation in point slope form if you're given the slope and a point. So it's very simple. Write it down. Number one, you substitute the value of m, the slope, and let the x and y coordinates be x1 and y1. All right? Then number two, write the equation in the needed form. So let's look at this example. I want you to write an equation in point slope form that has a slope of 2 and that goes through the point 3, 1. So let's do that. Y minus y1, in this case, is the y coordinate of my point. So we would say y minus 1 equals, I've got to substitute for the slope. M is 2, so it's going to be 2 times x minus, and now I substitute x1, which in this case is 3. And I'm done. You're just going to substitute m, x1, and y1. Okay? All right. If you're given 2 points, and you're asked to write the equation in point slope form, here are the steps you're to take. Number one, find the slope of the line. You have a formula for slope given 2 points. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you'll use the slope formula to find the slope of the line. Then you're going to choose one of the 2 points to use and to substitute into the equation as x1, y1, and then you write the equation. Okay? All right, so let's work on this one. First, I need to figure out the slope of this line. So m equals 6 minus 3 over 1 minus 0. That's going to be 3 over 1, or just plain 3. Okay? So m is 3. And now I get to choose which point I'm going to use in my point slope form It doesn't matter. You can choose whichever one you want. I'm going to choose the second point. Now let's write the equation. Y minus y1, which is 6, equals 3 times x minus 1. And you're done. Okay, here we go. In this lesson, you will be writing equations from one form to another, between standard form, slope-intercept form, and point-slope form. You're going to be using inverse operations, and algebraically, you're going to be transforming one form to another. Okay? So, for the next 2 problems, we're going to write an equation in standard form. And I'll always do this. Just remind you what standard form is. AX plus BY equals C. It's always good for you to write the form down so you know your goal. Your goal is to get the equation to be in standard form. Okay? So, number 1, copy down the equation. Y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 times x minus 5. This equation right now is in point slope form. We're going to transform it into standard form. Okay, so let's start. First step is we're going to distribute negative 2/3. So let's do that. Y minus 1, we're going to bring down, equals negative 2/3 x plus 10/3. Okay, all right, let's continue. Let's add 2/3 to both sides so I can start arranging my terms so that it looks like standard form. I need the x term to be on the left side. So let's bring that down. 2/3 x plus y minus 1 equals 10/3. All right, I need to add 1 to both sides, but I'm going to add 1 in the form of 3/3 because I need a common denominator on the right to add. So here we go. 2/3 x plus y equals 13/3. I'm close, but I'm not there yet. Let's recall that a and b must be integers. No fractions, no decimals. I need to take 2/3 and convert that to a whole number. So what I'll do is I will multiply every single term by the denominator, every single one. Okay, so here we go. 2x plus 3y equals 13. Now that is in standard form. All right, same set of directions. Go ahead and work on number 2. Write that equation in standard form. Pause your video, please. Okay, please check number 2. The answer is 7x minus y equals negative 36. Just draw your attention right here. Please note that a can never be negative. So I had to divide all the terms by -1 so that a is a positive integer. Okay, let's go on. Here we go. All right, new set of directions here. The directions tell me write in slope-intercept form. So if I know I have to write this equation in slope-intercept form, I'm going to want to write down what slope-intercept form is, so that I know where I want to go and how I want my equation to look. Okay, so to write an equation in slope-intercept form, I'm going to focus on isolating y. I'm going to focus there. Okay, so let's simplify before we start. Let's distribute 3/2. Ready? Y plus 3 equals 3/2 x plus 3/2. Okay, so let's go ahead and subtract 3 from both sides. If I'm going to subtract 3 from 3/2, I'm going to have to rewrite that as an improper fraction that has a denominator of 2. So I'm going to subtract 6/2. That's the same as subtracting 3. So y equals 3/2 x minus 3/2 minus 6/2 is negative 3/2. And that is my equation in slope-intercept form. Okay? Try number 4 on your own. Pause the video now. Okay, please check number 4. Y equals negative 3x plus 6. All right, some extra practice. Let's read the directions. Write an equation in point-slope form for the line that passes through the given point with the slope provided. Okay, let's recall what that means. Point-slope form looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay? So you're going to want to write these following equations in that form. Number 1, 4, 5, and 9. Number 10, I want to draw your attention that on number 10, they don't give you the slope of a line. They don't give you what m equals, but they do tell you the line is horizontal. So you need to figure out what that means. If it's a horizontal line, what is the slope of a horizontal line? Okay? All right. Here we go. For number 1, you're going to write the equation in standard form. Standard form again is ax plus by is equal to c. You're going to do number 8. And this one you're going to write in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay? All right, so write down any questions you have. We'll continue working with the 3 forms of a linear equation tomorrow. God bless you. Have a great night.